Cosby, who passed away on June 20th. Don't want to talk too much about that, but that's the deal. And Carlos, thanks, bro. So I just, that song in my soul, man. And I just wanted to start off this morning program with that understanding that in this life we are all one, and we all need each other to be each other. And I would stick to that. I stand on that. And for those who thinks differently, you got to understand too, what affects one affects all. We don't believe that until our share come along, and then we realize life ain't that nice. So that when somebody else is going through their demise, some of us, our happiness comes from watching other people struggle. That narcissistic quality, until our time comes. And then when that time comes, you're thinking that you don't deserve it. I will leave that right there for now. But blessed morning again, Trinidad and Tobago. This is your boy, Mr. A.J. Johnson, the founder of the Hustlers Corner on Earth, located on 92 East Drive in Champlain. Okay, you have a free consultation await you, and that free consultation, you can ask me any question you so desire, understanding that there are no such thing as an incurable disease, only incurable people. And that is absolutely true from a spiritual perspective. All right? Let that one sink in for a bit. But let me say this again. We are one. This entire universe is an extremely huge organism that has its own eyes. Let that one sink in too. Trinidad and Tobago, we have some issues going on. And before I go on with my program this morning, I want to talk about two things. But let me amplify that, because this time I'm using on the air, I use it to educate. So please appreciate. I'm calling again on the relevant authority to fix that stream that is in front of the Mount Hope Tunnel. Wassa is no less than 1,000 feet away, could be less, from where that stream is. So they pass in there every single day. Fix it, please. And the people who has a meter that attached to them that has to pay water rate, y'all should be enraged because of the amount of leak that we have in our road. The reason I am ranting on this is my country. Trinidad and Tobago is me. It's all of us. And I love my country, I love my people, and we have to take care of it. We have to hold the people who are in charge feet to the fire. We have to do that. But like I always say, Trinidad and Tobago, we oscillate between dormant and explosive. The things we're supposed to make noise for, we always stay quiet. The things we're supposed to stay quiet for, we make noise. Usually that's metal-laced in commerce. And some people don't like that kind of talk, but it's the reality. We need to stop that and fix our country. You go up in Kirep, right in front of TNTech, there's another stream. It's been there weeks, probably months, just like the one in front of, right in front of the Mount Hope Tunnel, right at the foot of Mendez Drive on the Eastern Main Road. Y'all do better than that, man, please. The other thing is that I'm ranting about is our port. Our port. You guys down there need to get your stuff straight, because when one side of the port is giving instructions to people, confusing people, and the other side of the port is shutting it down, clearly here's what's going on there. Improper communication, nepotism, and people who don't know what they are doing. Listen, I travel a lot on the ferry. A lot. And understand that everybody who travels on the ferry is who pay you guys down there. All they need to do better than that. And I decide to write a letter to the authority, and I decide to carry this a little further in news. You all need to do better. And there's some cold people there looking you straight in your face and telling you, well, you can't travel. The instruction that I witnessed this, that you got, if your ID card, let's say that's the only form of Trinidad and Tobago ID that you have at the moment, maybe because the passport thing expired, you know you're not going to travel, and that rests down. So the only one you have is your national ID. Your national ID expires 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month at best, because this is what I witnessed. One end of the port saying, once you have the receipt, you can travel, no problem. You travel. the other side is telling you, oh no, you can't travel with that. That is not our policy. And when people stand up for their rights, because you can't jumbie a man like me, and you can't keep a man like me quiet, because you don't expect my brains to take that foolishness that you telling me there. And I'm ranting and raving because we need to do better. It have too much nepotism on the port, and all you're making it bad for the good people that work hard there to make our service, our ferry service, nice and better. And I could call some name who works very, very hard to make our port better, but I ain't going to do that because all you're going to say is biasness. And then you have the inept ones who believe they own the port. Yeah, this is Mr. Johnson. So they could look for me when I pass down there, because I'm fearless and I'm afraid of no one. All you need to do better. All you need to do better and get your story right. You can't tell people one thing and then mean the next. Sorry about that. And you can't be inconsistent in such a way to frustrate people. It's already frustrating as it is going on the port. I'm not saying that you guys don't have a stressful job, you know. I am saying if you can't do that job, look for something else, because you cannot be down there where customer service left the window, customer service has left the building, and you don't know how to talk to people. You don't even know your policies. You don't even know the own law, because if that was the case, there won't be inconsistencies. Everybody will be carrying out the same rules. And you're looking people cold in their face and say, well, you can't travel between Trinidad and Tobago. When you get a receipt that your ID card has been expired, and they're telling you the waiting period for your ID card is 6 to 8 weeks. But listen, some okay it. Well, yeah, you can travel with that. That's what they say. The next one saying you can't. See it many times. Get your stories right. Get your stories right. And I could look for me when I come down there. Blessed morning again, man. I'm upset. I'm upset. Too much inconsistencies. And when people open their mouth and talk, when somebody like me open their mouth and talk, or they have a problem with me, a problem with me? Well, here what I'm going to say. Here I'm going to end this up. You have a real problem. You have a serious problem. Good morning, Scrappy. What's going on, man? Hope all is well, brother. Hope all is well. Trinidad and Tobago, good morning again. Good morning, my Dallas Fort people. I zoomed through Dallas this weekend a little bit. I met a few youths. But I didn't meet all the brothers I wanted to meet, but it's coming. It's coming. Good morning, my sibling. Michael Best, what's happening? Cut, Dougie, all the brethren in Dallas Fort. Blessed morning to you all. Blessed morning and blessed morning. My sibling, good morning. Good morning, sis. Lynette, good morning. Good morning, darling. How you doing? Good morning, Kerry Packer. Blessed morning to you. Joe Blunt, good morning, my brother. Love in the house. Allison, darling, good morning. My sis, how you doing, sweetie? Mom, good morning. And Pops, continue to rest easy. Continue to rest in eternal power. Wax, what's going on, man? My brethren, yes, yes, yes. What's going on, brother? Hope all is well. Kenneth Johnson, things good? Good morning, Cheyenne. Josiah, good morning. Vanny, blessed morning. And good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Josiah. Love in the house always. Wax Dog, Andy Daniel, what's going on, my brother? Hope all is well. Good morning, Brassy. Retired police officer Brassy, how you doing this morning, my brother? Love in the house, love in the house, love in the house. Frame, good morning. God bless morning to each and every one. My Trinidad Passy, Mr. and Mrs. Santa Cruz, blessed morning, Ryan. Good morning to you. Mr. Jason McPhee, what's happening, my brother? Hope all is well. Continue to shade under the golden branches of the golden, of the love, the master's love and care. Good morning, Penella. Penella, good morning to you. Blessed morning. Our police department, good morning. I know sometimes all it does frustrate me, but we can't do it without you guys. I support in all you. I support in my police department. I support in the police department. If you come sideways towards me, being inept and acting off-key, yeah, you're going to get some response, but I support all you. 100%. All your job ain't easy. It's 24-hour stress. And if there's internal issues, it makes it harder. Well, I my support. Good morning to the regiment. Good morning, our regiment. Blessed morning to you guys. Good morning to the Coast Guard. Blessings, blessings, blessings. The fire department, good morning. And again, the brothers on the road, the Nation Roadway, good morning. I always tell you, get your paper straight. Because when them white shirt men approach you and things ain't correct, it could be a little bit disastrous, all right? So, get your stuff correct, bro. Love in the house. I ain't saying things can't happen, because it does. And it's up to the person at that front or at that particular time to exercise some discretion. For some of us, power tripping means more than exercising discretion, as though you ain't going to be in a position one day and need discretion. And let me just leave this again. Life is cyclical. Understand that. If you don't know what that means, process it. It's cyclical. Right? So blessed morning. Again, our police commissioner, Mr. Guevara, blessed morning. And blessed morning to Mr. Alexander. Love in the house always. I will judge my brethren while I go on, brother. Hope all is well. I will come and give me a phone call. What's going on? Big brother, while I go on. All things. Everything cool, man. Everything thing. Love in the house, man. Thanks again, my brother. Thanks again. So all my people in Tobago, love in the house. In this life, we all need each other to be each other. Without each other, we simply not each other. I want to talk about something, but Kyle doing something there for me on the phone, and I want to read it. So but I wait, and then I would read it and punctuate some things why we are living the illusion of inclusion. Again, the topic this morning, it kind of highlights we can't avoid everything, but there are some things we can avoid. And also, people will always say, eating healthy is expensive. And I will say, what you need to do is prioritize your life. It only becomes expensive because you're not prioritizing your life, and you rather do other things than put your health first. That's why it's expensive. If you put your health first, it ain't going to be expensive. It's going to be just like every other thing. Every other thing. I'm not... Free choice. Everybody got a choice. And I always say, life is metallizing choice. It hinges on choices. We have to make choices. It's what's run the world. We have to make choices, and we have to trust. Even if it's misplaced trust, we have to trust. We jump in a plane, we trust the pilot take us from A to Z. Okay. We jump on the ferry, we trust the man behind that takes us from A to Z safely. So it's metallizing trust, and it's also metallizing choice. And I will say this, even if you don't make a choice, that is still a choice, because you chose not to choose. Okay? So at the end of the day, in this life, we got to work with one another. On top of that, we'll find ourselves in dire problem. Let me give my phone numbers at the top of the hour before I go through. The time is running down quickly. My phone number is 736-3962, 736-3962, or 709-8450, 709-8450. And as short as this program might be this morning, because like I said, we had a few issues up front there as well, but I chose to play that song, that tribute from R. Kelly, Behind Bars. I urge you guys to look at it and see how deep it is. And it will transcend something that's probably going to shift you from where you are to where you eventually want to be. A lot of times when we hit rock stone in life, it's not that they put Jumbi on your OB, you know. You're being redirected. If you're doing the right thing, you're being redirected. Once your internal dialogue is aligning with what you want outside, things going to work out. So when you hit the rock stone, don't worry yourself. You're being redirected. All right? And stop talking the OB thing. All right. So I want to read this thing here this morning that I saw, which I think punctuates a lot of things that I talk about and the mindset of our people. And this is what it says. Let me read it for you guys. Don't normally read. It says, now there is some humor in it, but they also use real life events, which means it literally cross-reference the way a lot of people thinks. So here's the deal. It starts by saying, eat whatever you like because, number one, the inventor of the treadmill died at the age of 54. Listen carefully. The inventor of gymnastics died at age 57. The world bodybuilding champion died at age 41. The best footballer in the world, Maradona, died at 60. I want you guys to listen carefully what I'm saying. Then it went on to say the KFC founder died at 94. So they're trying to justify the reason why you should eat. Stay with me here. The inventor of Nutella died at 88. Nutella is that sweet chocolate paste that they made. That has all kind of, it has hazelnuts and all kind of crap in it because it has canola oil and all that stuff. It's a chocolate paste. So he died at 88. The inventor of Hennessy died at 98. How the doctors came to the conclusion that exercise prolongs life when, this is where the humor come in, the rabbit is always jumping, yet it lives around 2 years. The turtle doesn't exercise at all and lives over 200 years. Let me start with the turtle. And let me punctuate the inept attitude of our people to justify these things. That although it has some humor in it, it represents the way a lot of us live. Number one, the turtle could swim more than you can ever swim. It goes all over the world. I'm number one. So that's stupid talk, debunked. We talk about the rabbit that jumps all over. You don't have the rabbit gene, so you don't know how long it needs to live. And you don't understand what the jumping does to make it live for 2 years. Right. Now let me talk about the Hennessy and the stuff, the rest of the stuff. Hear what you guys are not understanding. John D. Rockefellers lived 97 years old. Go and look it up. He is the man who invented the pharmaceutical stuff, basically not invent it, but promotes it, the one we live in here today. All the rules, everything that metalays in what we're doing now, John D. Rockefellers is the one that's responsible for that. He started his business in oil and he started making medicine and stuff from petroleum. Then he realized the medicine from petroleum, which we're still using today, start giving us, making people get cancer. What he did, to shut people up, he opened the Cancer Society, so that will keep you silent. Right, so here's the deal. The rest of the stuff that want to justify that the KFC man, I want to ask you guys a question. Who tell the KFC man was eating KFC? Oh, you know that? But I will leave that right there. Who tell the Hennessy man who make Hennessy was drinking Hennessy? But I would leave that right there. Here's the problem I have with those type of things. Eat whatever you want, ... But let me go back before I go forward. John D. Rockefeller had his own naturopathic doctor. I use herbs. Let our one day sink in. Let that land. He had 3 naturopathic doctors. I will leave that right there. Process that. So for those of you who believe you can eat whatever you want, absolutely, that's your choice. Make sure that whatever is in there, you don't have the right to detract or subtract the things that are in there that will affect you. It will affect your polycystic ovarian syndrome. It will cause your stomach to blow, rise and fall. It will cause prostate. It will cause high blood pressure. You don't have control over all that. But eat whatever you want. So long as when you can't walk good and you can't do things for yourself, you don't need anybody to help you. Just deal with it by yourself. So I'm not talking quality. I'm not talking the length of life. I'm calling quality of life here. Quality of life. So let me wonder this. I want to wrap this particular part up. That the small percentage of people that certain things represent, like a man who smokes. Well, I know a man who smokes and he lived 98 years. Go and smoke now. Since that you are that man, go and smoke. This inept attitude and protracted narrative that we like to make excuses for will cost us dearly our lives and will create detrimental or deleterious effects on our lives. Because what happened? You have the choice to do that. And I'm telling you, while you have the choice to eat whatever you want, that's your power and your choice. You don't have the power to take out the poison that's in there. I will leave that right there. I want to encourage a bunch of people this morning who do your exercising. Okay? Hear this carefully. Let me see what my son said this morning. We listening, man. Light up the port. Thanks, man. Yeah, man. Let me go back there. Make good morning, make good morning. The light office, good morning. Let me say good delight to all kids. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Always avid listener and supporter. Best reception this morning, local night. Thank you, my dear. Yeah, but I think the link. Kylo, send this lady that link for me here. This lady, she's an avid listener. Yeah, thank you, bro. Yeah, let me encourage the people who work out this morning, and I want to explain something to you guys, and I want to continue to encourage you. Thank you, my brother. Loving the house. Kyle, boy, Kyle is such a humble soul. Everything. Yes, Mr. Alloy. Kyle, you could say Alloy. You could say Johnson. Okay, Mr. Alloy. Yeah, good morning, Mr. Kyle, boy, it's so humble. I want to continue to encourage you guys to work out this morning, right? To continue to do what you're doing. Here's one of the things I want you to understand very carefully. which I see more and more. I see more and more people are encouraged, because when I'm out there, I wake up very, very early in the morning and meditate, and I read and all that. And I can see people on the road, some people pounding the pavement, doing what they need to do in order to stay. And I applaud you for that. But many of you guys continue to eat foods out of box. You're mitigating everything that you're trying to accomplish. And here what's going to happen. You're going to find yourself struggling with weight. And if weight loss is what you want to accomplish, you're going to find yourself struggling a lot, because when you eat these type of foods from boxes, again, let me go back again before I go forward. Let me punctuate this. If the food made in a factory, if what you eat is made in a factory, it come in a box, it has a barcode on it, it not good for nyam. It not good for nyam. That's big or colloquial dialect. It not good for eat. Leave it alone. And most of us pride ourselves on that. We walk into a supermarket, we do some shopping, we spend $3,000-4,000, and inside of that trolley, which is your money and your business, and some of you guys going to tell me to mind my business. That's all right. I go mind my business, because this is exactly my business that I'm minding here. That you're going to drive because a little stress out the doctor and them too much in the clinic and them, so this is my business. And you drive out from the supermarket with your trolley, and exactly about 10% of what's in there is Whole Foods. Yet that same people / individual / persons exercise every day. Where you getting the results from? How are you going and get results there? Because here what's happening. You are going to be let me just go to the weight loss. If your idea or the premise in which you work out on hinges on you wanting to lose weight, here why you have a lot of problems. And you're going to be yo-yoing until you get frustrated and stop. In order for somebody to lose weight, it cannot be done calorically. And therefore, you're going and buy these foods in the box. Let me repeat that again. It cannot be done calorically, although many people choose to do it. I would say 80% of the people who want to lose weight, they chose the caloric side of it. They do. So and I want you to track me here, understand the science, because it's quite easy once you get it, once you get a hang of it. So you're eating food, you're looking at the said food from the boxes, the said ultra processed foods that you have. You're looking at that particular food, and you're looking at the calories that's in those foods. Well, this one had 2% calories, this one had less sugar, this one had that, this one had this one had the other. But you ain't seen no heterocyclic amines, you ain't seen no acrylamides, you ain't seen no deuterium, you ain't seen no nitrazine, you ain't seen no nitrosamine, you ain't seen none of them stuff there. You ain't seen no tannins, you're not seeing none of them stuff there. You ain't seen phytates, you ain't seen none of them stuff. Here, what you seeing? Heart healthy. Let me explain this to you people. Those foods are insulin spiking foods, which metabolically create problems for the entire planet, which is this, that 83% of the people on this planet are metabolically ill. 83. And I was reading another article of peer-reviewed papers. It's more. It moved from there. So here it is, you are exercising every single day or maybe 5 days a week, and you're eating ultra-processed food because you're following this. People, those are insulin spiking food. And without the reduction of insulin in the human body, there is no weight loss. There is no fat burn. So here's what's going to happen. People who are frustrated like that will now biomechanically start starving themselves by eating them same food. If your quest and premise is to lose weight, here you're going to look very, very, very flabby and not healthy. You're going to look extremely flabby with all the free radicals that is going to be pelting through your body, and you just won't look right. You just won't. It won't work out well for you. And therefore, you will do the yo-yo thing. You lose some weight this week, then next week you gain it back, you lose, because you're not doing it hormonally. You're doing it calorically. It has to be done hormonally, and that is to reduce insulin. Fat resides in insulin. And people, if you understand the mechanism of that and the science in that, you have the most beautiful body on earth. So now you're walking every day, you're doing great exercising for your heart, and you mitigate all that when you go home by using canola oil, which is poison. All the oil that is inside of this you see in the supermarket, with the exception of coconut oil and avocado oil or ghee, you are absolutely wasting your time. You are wasting your time. You cooking with that and want to be healthy, you ain't get it. It's like you just clean your house out and you invite somebody. Come inside with the muddy shoe, man. It's no problem, man. No problem, man. I go mop it up. No problem. But when they go on, you cuss like hell. You make a set of noise because the place is dirty. It makes no sense. That is what I call a dog chasing a tail science. It makes absolutely no sense. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. I'm sorry I had to rant this morning, but I had to rant. I really needed to rant. I'm going to leave that part out. But let me continue to do what I need to do here. So here it is. You're outside, you're exercising. And you go home and you make some beautiful stir fries. You cut up some nice chicken. You put in some nice vegetables, some broccoli, whatever you need to do. You make it looking good and whatever. But you use canola oil. You use every single other oil except coconut oil, avocado oil, or ghee. And you can use olive oil once it's extra virgin olive oil because it has a bitter finish to it. That's squeezed straight from the olive. Straight from the olive. And it will always come in a dark green bottle, tinted looking bottle. Even then in that bottle, it's not real. It comes in many of them cans and come from the States in barrel. They send them here by the hundreds for us. They're fake, bootleg. Those things are something resembling olive oil. We get it all wrong. And even with olive oil, because of what it carries, the bond that it carries, because it will flip on you, you can't make it extremely hot. You could fry some eggs with olive oil if you so desire. But you can't really cook with olive oil to get the real benefit of olive oil. You really can't because you will destroy the fat in it. Coconut oil will take that heat and still get your fat. The same coconut oil they used to bad mouth. Well, we know why they bad mouth in it. Because everybody run down the other type of oil and they have enough sick people on their hand now so they could back off now and talk about all this stuff. It still have people who've been paid to talk about oil and still talk because I saw one of my boys in the States send me this link where they was doing this interview and you could see this guy was paid through his nose to talk the nonsense he was talking about there's nothing wrong with seed oils. Oh no, there's nothing wrong with industrial seed oils. No, what's wrong with it is you've been paid. Period. That is what's wrong. But anyhow, I want to encourage you guys, if you have to lose weight, it has to be done hormonally, not calorically, else you're going to be wasting your time. And then when you start starving yourself eating those same food, you're going to look very flabby. You won't look well, especially on the women's side. There are 3 different types of fats. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful here. I'm just giving you the facts. I'm a fitness expert. I put that in quotation, a fitness expert and an herbalist practitioner. I put all of that in quotation, right? Right. But what I'm saying is that when as a woman, we have, okay, let me go back. We have 3 different types of fats. We have what you call subcutaneous fat. That subcutaneous fat could amplify cellulites. Then we have intramuscular fat. And then we have visceral fat, which is the visceral fat is the organs. Now our kidney and our liver, they could call fatty liver disease. All them things come from metabolic crap, the nonsense we eating. But those fat, and then you have another 4th fat you call adipose fat. This adipose fat is a brown fat, but that helps aid in burning other fats. So I'm saying here now that women who has these beautiful physique and want to improve on it, if you continue to eat that way and you realize if your notion, if your premise is to truly lose weight, you're not going to accomplish it. And even if and let me just say this again, right? You all need to understand this. Weight loss and fat burn are not the same. Let me say this again. Weight loss and fat burn are not the same. They are diametrically opposite. You want me to explain that to you? You call my phone, come for an appointment, let's sit down and talk about this. The consultation is free. You guys hardly hear me on here talking about products and doing whatever. You know the product and them, I'm going to be pushing the one that I make. And I'm telling you right now, I have a liver cleanse and I have a kidney and liver cleanse. Yeah, everybody needs it. And all the ladies who took it already that had polycystic ovarian syndrome, I'll tell you right now, it's bitter, but it works. For the ladies who took it, they will give you the wonderful news. Women who couldn't lay on their stomach because it hurt so bad. People who has inflamed fallopian tube, right? People who have cysts on the tube. People who have, like I said, PCOS. Women who has that. And you know, a lot of times, women have something called interstitial cystitis. I don't even hear the name much calling around. Interstitial cystitis, it's a probably a lot of pelvic pain, inflammation, and many of them don't even know that what it is. And the symptoms are very close to what men experience who has prostate issues. And a lot of time when brothers has that interstitial cystitis issue, because it affects men as well, but it affects more women than it would men, based on what my research says, right? And for the men who has interstitial cystitis, they treat it as if it's prostate. Honestly. And then when they come by me, all I just do is give them some advice. You make a shift, and certain things start happening well for you. Because at the end of the day, right, these things are not happening to us. They're happening within us. Anything that you didn't born with, anything that you did not born with, honestly, it's not inherited, and it was precipitated by a type of food you eat or a lack thereof of what you need to do. And I say this again for people. Let me just finish what I was saying for the women. Please, if your premise is to lose weight, there's a difference between fat burn and losing weight. You could lose weight easy. If I tie you in the woods for 2 weeks, you're going to lose weight. But how are you going to look? How are you going to look? Right? Because your body not accustomed to that. Hunger wins every time. And as soon as you get back hungry, you're going straight to that food that you're craving there. It don't matter how it is. All you want to know is tasting good. And then you go right back to the yo-yo things again. Everything starts all over again. So my thing is here for women, especially women, because I think women, the impetus for women to exercise is way better than men. Way better than men. It are plenty brothers out there who making excuses with the extended stomach. Oh, a good tool need a good shed, and all them kind of stupid talk. So I want to encourage everybody, but I know for sure, ladies, if you want to lose that weight and have that pewed looking shape, you got to do it correctly. It has to be done hormonally, and you got to be careful in terms of the foods you put in your stomach, right? And the vegetable oil you use. No place in Trinidad and Tobago should have any oil inside of the kitchen besides avocado oil, coconut oil, ghee, or some olive oil. All the rest is car oil, and all you need to get rid of that. And I say that unapologetically. It's total car oil. If you understand what in the hexane and the other stuff, and hexane is a neurotoxin. Completely. 100% neurotoxin. I ain't going to talk about all the rest in there, because again, there are certain things that are not radio worthy, and there are certain things I know I cannot say here. But when you come to my office, you will be educated. The best way I can, the best way I know how. Good morning, Miss Gettins. Good morning, Miss Gettins Senior. How are you doing this morning? Good morning. Good morning to you. And Miss Gettins Jr., how are you this morning? Good morning, Tanel. Good morning, Nicole. Blessed morning to you. Miss Nicole Gordon, how are you? Corporal John, how you doing? Miss Nicole Huggins, how you doing this morning, my dear? And good morning to Beverly in the US of A. And good morning to Bev from the UK. Lovely lady. Blessed morning to y'all. Love in the house as always. Mr. Johnson is here to guide you through your health profile. Okay? It's not how long you live. It's the quality of life you live. It have people in the hospital almost a year with something stick up on the nose. They keep going back and forth, going back and forth. If you call that quality of life, that comes from the food you eat. The same inept ignorance that we talked about before, where you think you can eat whatever you want, which is your choice. I'm just letting you know. Don't forget that quality of life is not what you really want. That's not what you aspire for. So while your ego will tell you, well, I could eat whatever I want, remember the consequences to your choices. All right? And we got to learn. All of us has to learn. Okay, so that's the deal. Love in the house to everybody. Love in the house to everybody. And I keep saying this. Let me see what my son say again. Yeah, man. And this is the tongue. And it's a beautiful quote there. Yeah, Mickey boy, take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. And it's a quote by Jen Horn. It's the truth. It's about you walk around. It's your own body. You have to hold that around with you 24/0. You got to take care of it and stop making excuses for it. It's the only thing that you have. And let me remind you again, people, the best doctor in the house is your own body. Your own body. It talks to you every time. We just don't listen. Understanding the wisdom of the human physiology, and something that is very real that we don't really look at. It's called innate intelligence. The only thing that is perfect within the human body is innate intelligence. The intelligence within our body. If you get a cut, it heals. We lay down to sleep in the night, we knock out clean. Our heart still beat. Within the crevice of our rib, it still beat. Our brain still function to a certain capacity. It's still alive. Oxygen still flow through our body. These are what you call innate intelligence. That being perfect, it always has and always will. Everything else is flawed. And that's why we need to take care of ourselves. Innate intelligence guide you to the things you ought to eat. It guides you when the body ain't going right. We just don't listen. We just don't listen because we're too busy minding other people's business. We're too busy playing God in other people's business. We're too busy gloating after when somebody makes a mistake, thinking that we would never make a mistake. And I will tell you this one time again, let me put this in. Part of life journey is mistakes. You don't? Right out from here. Because you're not perfect. You're not perfect. And we know you're pretending. We know you're pretending. We know you're fake. When you have those type of stuff going through your head, thinking that this is, I am perfect and I do this and I go to this particular church and I go to this, and I'm not attacking any religion and whatever and whatever. I'm just saying, this is what we do all the time. And we put ourselves in a bracket like, oh, we can't do nothing wrong. We don't do nothing wrong. Let me explain something to you, man. In every demise, there's a seed of equivalent benefit. You just got to look for it because that's how growth comes. And I remind you again, many of us prefer safety and comfort rather than listening to the truth. Many of us. I'm going to say this one more time too. You can't be in growth mode and protection mode at the same time. I'm not telling you you shouldn't protect yourself, because if you don't, you become food for something else. What I'm saying is you can't be in the same mode at the same time. You want to grow? Get uncomfortable. Get out from your comfort zone. Come out and do what you need to do. Until then, you're not going to become the person that you should become. When that shell starts cracking and you start feeling uncomfortable, it means the person who you want to become can't deal with what you're dealing with anymore. So it's warning you to do certain things, but we just don't listen. We don't listen. We're too busy on social media, minding other people's business and stuff, and not wanting to uplift ourselves. And when things will come our way, we make a whole bunch of noise. Kyle, before I run off, run that commercially for my brother. I'll take that very much. I was trying to find a message here from a person who would have sent something to me again for diabetes, and I just can't find it, but all right. Thanks. Issues, cancer. Are you dealing with high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, prostate issues, cancer, PCOS, fibroids, or low testosterone? These conditions do not just show up overnight. They are signs that your body is out of balance. At the healthiest corner on earth, my focus is restoring that balance naturally using time-tested herbs, personalized wellness plans, and nutritional guidance, helping your body return to homeostasis, the state where healing begins. When your body is in balance, it can protect, repair, and renew itself. You don't have to wait until things get worse. You can take control of your health now. My goal is simple: to prevent chronic disease and support your body's natural ability to heal. Book your free consultation today. Give me a call at 736-3962 or 709-8450. Let's restore balance and prevent what's preventable, because your healing journey starts with one step, and I am here to walk it with you. Well, thank you, my boy Kyle, for that. Kylie, thanks a lot for that. And I'm honestly here to walk it with you. Ladies and gentlemen, again, let me remind you, the human body is imbued with an intelligence. It is imbued with an intelligence. It is. Again, it's the reason why we sleep and wake while we wake up. And let me remind you guys again, this week again, I had to treat with somebody who suffered with bad anxiety. I had to deal with some impotence situation as well. And guys, let me just tell you this: the impotent situation comes because too much insulin in the body. You hear what I'm telling you? If your circumference, if you measure your stomach area, your waist, and it's the same as your height, you're in dire trouble. And for many brothers, this is one of the problems. Insulin problem. Too much insulin production. You hear what I'm saying to you guys? So please, do the best you can, the best you know how. Pay attention to what you pay attention to. Energy goes. Attention goes where energy flows. You could flip that back. energy goes, where attention goes as well. So listen, at the end of the day, none of us are perfect. We're going to make mistakes along the way. But that conscious effort in understanding that there are certain things we shouldn't do, that's the problem we need to focus on. That's the situation we need to fix. And one more time again, like a dude said to me one time, boy, I live every day. You only live once. You only live once, so you can do whatever you want and whatever. And I just look at him and say, well, okay, you live once, I live every day. And I thank the creator and who is whatever responsible for source energy. Whatever is responsible for that, I thank that every single day. I thank that every single day. Again, understanding the wisdom of plants, understanding the wisdom of the human body, how we closely connect to plants, how the plants and us are one. For you guys in Trinidad and Tobago, you guys ever see a dog that look real sick? Real sick, it don't look well. When you look at it, you know it doesn't look well. Just by its disposition, how he walks and stuff. And then he walks straight to certain grass. And he eat the grass. I don't know if you experience this, but I see tons of time. And he will eat that grass. And in about 5 to 10 minutes, it puke. It puke. I see it many times. In 10, 15 minutes, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Now, if innate intelligence is metallized in the dog, what's wrong with us? Because that's the truth. It's a fact. This is not an opinion. Folks, this ain't an opinion. It is what it is. We come from the same place. All of us come from the same place. The chloroplast of the plant, I always say this, and us are one. Why do some people have diabetes and they have eye issue? Because that's retinopathy. It damages the capillaries in the back of the eyes. Where that coming from? We eat enough foods. We didn't have enough of what we need to do in terms of botanical herb. Again, let me remind you, one of my brethren would have sent me a message very recently, and he said, maybe you should talk about certain things with the blood and stuff, and I'm probably going to do that next week. By the energy that flows, I would probably do that next week. And again, let me remind you again that something called beta thalassemia, which is hemoglobin in the blood, that is genetics, because you're born with that. And then if you have it, chances are the kids can have it as well. So the hemoglobin in the blood is extremely important for that. And many people, I know my brethren, and he know I talking about, I know he listening somewhere. I know he is. That's my avid, he been with me years, probably more than 4 years now. That brother been with me because of beta thalassemia. I'm not going to call his name. He come there, his blood is 7. Hemoglobin is 7. That's a man who's been tired all the time. I'm not going to tell you what it means to after he dealing with me. But anything can be healed. There are no such thing as an incurable disease. Only incurable people. And there are no such thing as autoimmune disease. Yeah, tell them Mr. Johnson said that. Autoimmune disease. What is that? What is autoimmune disease and it cannot be cured? All them things is foolishness. They are precipitations of things we don't do. If your body cannot refine your raw materials, you're going to suffer a chronic diseases. That is just the truth. You need to refine that. And the people who are, let's say that a line of family, everybody in that particular family group comes up with diabetes all the time. It's just a stretch. It's easy for them to convince you that that is hereditary. No, it's not hereditary. It's the antithesis of the truth. It's nonsense. What the problem here is that there's a metallation issue. Your body cannot refine the raw materials. It's not the baji bush. It's not the piece of fish. It's not the eggs that you eat. It's what those things become once your body makes the conversion. If your body can't do that, you have problems. And that's where botanical herb come in. You need to do those things. Once you do those things, the body goes into homeostasis, and the way it functions the way God and nature intended to be. The vagus nerve, the hypothalamus gland, the pineal gland, everybody work hand in hand, and the body becomes a better place to live in. My time is almost up. Kyle, signal me them how much more things I have here. Although we have some things I'm doing right, I don't want to still keep back no time and gain anybody problems. But let me just leave you all with this, folks. There's a poem by Valerie Cox. It's called The Cookie Thief. Valerie Cox, The Cookie Thief. Go and read it. It applies to every single one of us. Valerie Cox, The Cookie Thief. All right? So until then, this is your boy, Mr. Johnson. In this life, we all need each other to be each other. Without each other, we are simply not each other. That's one of my premise. Okay? Am I my brothers and sisters keeper? It's supposed to be that way. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen. One more time, 736-3962, 736-3962, or 709-8450. There's not one single chronic disease in the body that botanical herb cannot fix. The body is intelligent enough to do it. Until next time, next week, man, this is your boy, Mr. Johnson, a.k.a. RJ. Me gone!
Follow The Street 919 FM on all social platforms at The Street 919 FM.
Business owners, are you looking to reach a vast audience and boost your brand's visibility? Then look no further. The Street 919 FM is here to help you shine. With over 170,000